All right, so here we are doing audio commentary for In the Woods. I'm Lynn Drzick, writer, director of the movie, and we got great folks here with us talking about it. We have Nancy Gideon. Introduce yourself, Nancy.
Hi, Lynn. Good to be here. This is a lot of fun.
Yes, Nancy, you wrote a novel based off the screenplay, have you not?
Novelization based on In the Woods. Yep,
Awesome.
It was fabulous. It was some of the most fun I've had writing.
That's nice to hear. And also, way down at the other end of the couches here, we're in a nice home theater. So, way at the other end is Mr. DJ Perry himself.
Oh, very, very happy to be here. Thank you. I feel like I'm in a time warp. Didn't we do this once many years ago?
Yeah, we did this many years ago, which I think is cool. This is our second commentary.
Because it's anniversary.
It's anniversary.
15 years.
I was going to say, I almost didn't want to say because it ages us, but
But we all look younger.
We do look younger.
yeah. I don't know how, well, that's because you can't see us. You can just hear us.
Yeah.
We sound younger.
Yeah, if you see the name Lynn Drzick, you kind of wonder what I look like. Think Brad Pitt. So, there you go.
Pretty darn close, Lynn.
Thanks. Yeah, well, we're here to talk about the movie In the Woods, and this is the you're listening to this commentary track on the Blu-ray release of this film. This is the third release of the movie. How did that happen, DJ?
How did that happen? Well, I think we made a film that was kind of pioneering, at the time. I mean, something has to hook with your audience for it to remain relevant, and
Yeah.
And this film, it must be the monsters. That's all I gotta say.
Well, yeah, when I went to make the movie, it's like, yeah, it kind of towards the end of the movie, one of the criticisms is you don't see a whole lot of the creatures because, well, we didn't have a lot of money to do a whole lot with the creatures. And if you really want to imagine the damage the creatures can do and the scope of them, well, read the book, right, Nancy?
Oh, yeah. There was so much more we could do with that, building off the original screenplay with those big ambitions.
Yeah.
And even this opening scene here in the movie, in the book, you've got 2 chapters of backstory that sets up the mythology for the creatures.
Right, before it even starts.
Before it even starts with this, and then it segues into this with a very neat fire scene.
Yeah, because
And the axe.
The axe. The axe is
Yep.
the key because this movie starts off here with the axe smashing open the door. But what I originally wanted to do was start the movie in the medieval ages. The backstory, like you said, that's in the novel of the monsters and the kingdoms warring and all that. And there's this knight swinging an axe towards the hero that instantly cuts, boom,
To this scene.
to this scene right here. And so really, when I think about it, In the Woods, it's like you need the novel and you need the movie. They're great companion pieces, and I've been torn a few times, like, do you read the book first or watch the movie first?
Either way. I always like to watch a movie, because if I read a book first, then I have different expectations.
Yeah.
But with this, we didn't even have a movie when we had the book.
No,
Other than just a trailer.
just the trailer.
Just the trailer to work from. And so that was it was really fun. It was fun building the mythology. It was the best part of it was I had a screenplay, so I didn't have any backstory for any of the characters, other than all you have is your set directions, which is this happens, this is where you are, and then just dialogue.
Yeah, well, I don't know if I had a backstory to the characters when I wrote the screenplay. So
Perhaps not, but they've got one now. And of course, most of it's lost in this. And a lot of the
Yeah.
scenes are lost in this because, you've got to fill more than, 79 pages of script, and you have several hundred pages of book. So you've got to fill it in there with something.
Yeah,
so
and
it's motivations, backstories, who these people are. And there's a lot of secondary characters that are never brought into this, which makes, especially Alex's motivations a lot stronger. The death of a coworker that's not in here. A lot of the motivations for all the characters.
Yeah. And DJ, you haven't aged a day. Let me tell you.
Oh, look at that. There you are.
Okay, how much do I owe you? The one thing I can say is when we did the training for this, it really made me realize that if I had not actually gone into the profession of acting, if firefighting was just fighting fires, I think I could have done something like that. But since, about a good 80% of it is dealing with, roadside accidents and stuff like that,
Yeah.
I'm not sure I could handle all that. That takes a special kind of person. But
And they respond to everything now.
Oh,
It's not just
yeah.
fires, it's everything that the police respond to.
so just like all roles, we did a lot of, ride-alongs and, spending time with the firemen in there and trying to give an accurate representation of the profession.
And aren't those suits the hottest and heaviest things ever? I had to try one on for Cub Scouts.
Well, yeah, it goes back to
with
the
my
opening
troop.
shot.
Yeah.
Hot day.
And a lot of people didn't realize
Oh,
that.
yes.
I have to point it out to some folks, is that opening shot with the axe hitting the door all the way to the back of the fire truck is one continuous take.
That's awesome.
And that was quite an achievement that we pulled off there, DJ.
Well, I just axing the door, breaking stuff. I get
you're
an
good at
A for that.
But yeah, those suits were so hot, and it just so happened that was the busiest, the hottest day of the summer that we shot that scene with them out there doing the fire.
Leslie and Carrie.
Oh, yep.
I know one of them is still pursuing acting, and the other is a news reporter somewhere in California.
Okay, Nancy, you're in here somewhere, aren't
Oh.
you?
Almost. It's coming up. My debut as bar extra. My children were
Bar
so...
maiden, is it?
No, it's bar extra.
Okay.
There I am
Oh.
in the background in the
The
fog.
original photo bomb.
Yes. And there's a story there because there was a gentleman that I was sitting across the table from, the
right
gentleman
there,
that just, and he really wanted to break into acting. And when he was originally supposed to
and
be
he was on this-
facing the camera, and you moved him. You moved us around, and he was really toast.
Stuart McDonald, Lane Glenn, and one of these famous scenes to people because of the amount of talk about little furry creatures.
Oh,
Lynn, do you want to comment on that?
the hamster
Okay, this
versus
commentary is
gerbil.
over. No, I did not realize it until I knew that Alex Kerwood's wife, worked at the pet shop and all that kind of stuff, So obviously I was trying to work that into the script and all that kind of stuff, and I was trying to think of something that could happen at the pet shop. I'd never worked at a pet shop, so I don't know, what hamsters and gerbils and mice and rats are like, so I was just trying to pepper that throughout the script.
There's more small animal drops in this than swear words in
Droppings.
Deadwood.
I don't know.
But yeah, so I didn't realize, even like during post-production of the movie, it never dawned on me how many references to hamsters and gerbils are in this film. But then, after the film came out and we start reading reviews, which there's some great reviews and a lot of scathing reviews, but then I started to realize what was going on there.
Well,
But it's been pretty, that's had a nice little turn of events, though, the hamster and gerbil drop.
well, do you know that it became such a topic that people wondered if the devil dog was really some sort of gerbil or mutation of one of these small animals?
You've got that foreshadowing of the devil gerbil comment in there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it could have been.
Larry Osterman right there.
Is that really? I wondered if that's who
Yeah,
that
the voice
was.
of Detroit Tigers.
Yep.
For a while, doing his cameo. His son, Larry Osterman II, was an editor on this film. So it's Don Blackport, art director of In the Woods. Great guy.
Yep.
Great guy, great artist. So another person that really kind of... One thing I can say, the cast and crew of this movie was tremendous. And, I couldn't have done it without any of these people. Because here we were, my first feature film for pretty much the entire cast and crew.
Oh, yeah. It was mine.
And
This was your first one?
First starring role in a
Wow.
feature film.
Yeah, and quite an ambitious.
Jim,
For me,
I love
Jim
Jim.
Billick was great.
Oh, he's great.
And obviously very ambitious is what I heard. For a first-time feature film.
was.
With the locations that we had, the props that we had, the effects that we had.
Oh,
and like
yeah.
you said, that's I love the novel because you get the whole story of what I originally wanted to do. But here you see what we
We're able
were
to
able
afford
to
to
do,
do.
what we're able to afford to do.
Easier to write than execute.
Oh,
Yeah, I learned that. I learned that the hard way.
Always plan big and then trim.
Right. Yeah. I shot for the moon. Only made it, didn't make it out of Earth's atmosphere. But you can see that. There's a lot of great camera movements.
That's Kevin Hewitt and David Eisern.
Yep. And Coca-Cola has not busted me for that
Ooh.
product drop right there.
Oh,
They owe us.
Yeah.
They owe us. Yeah.
Product placement.
product placement. But with this particular segue they've got with the serial killer in the book, that's really well developed. And you've got a
It
lot
is.
of different victims and more on that and builds it up better. But of course in this, you just get a taste of it.
You just get a taste of
especially
it,
with
yeah.
this character. So, you learn in the book about his daughter and
Yeah.
you're actually on the scene.
Mm-hmm.
So-
Yeah, I wish I would have added a little bit more of the serial killer in there because later on in the movie it kind of comes out of the blue, where
Yeah.
you got the one character, the other firefighter that kind of punches the serial killer and all that.
And that's
either
great
when you
scene.
had to add more or trim it out. you
Right.
know.
Yeah.
One
But
or
I
the
couldn't
other.
trim it out because we knew that's what got you guys to dig the grave up.
Right,
in the
because
first place.
you were thinking
So-
it was one of the victims.
And one thing, like for a small little independent production, I mean, we had a great camera crew.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's Dave Eisern's car right there.
Oh.
Dave Eisern was our first AC, and
Mm-hmm.
now he is a A-list cameraman,
Yeah.
director of photography,
Wow.
Steadicam
Yeah.
operator on
And
a lot of
Hewitt,
projects.
director of photography, main camera operator. I mean, just great, the lighting and all these night scenes and all that kind of stuff, especially the one scene we just saw in the firehouse has that cool blue light.
And
Yeah.
that's David Lowing and his crew, wasn't it? Yep.
Yep, out of Grand Rapids,
Yeah.
Michigan.
It has a great look all the way through it. And here's poor Alex in one of the great marital drama scenes.
Yeah, if anything was a lesson not to get married, he's driving that point home, right here.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, and
Whose house is this?
this is actually our production designers.
Aren't they in your mom's? Is the first house your mom's?
Yeah, that was my mother's house because
They were burning down?
I couldn't find anybody else willing to, burn their house down, which we did. And we had a firebox on the inside of the door where the axe came in, and then all special effects. But still, I think we melted some curtains on the inside of the house. But,
Amy's my leading lady, Tenaglia. Isn't that how? Yeah,
Yeah.
her last
Yep.
name. And she is teaching drama in Nashville, I believe.
Really?
Yeah.
More gerbils.
this wasn't her first feature film, right? She did another small little.
Yeah,
production,
she
or-
had done a couple of her, I can't even remember, Asylum of Terror or something like that.
One of those blockbusters.
Yeah.
And this is another thing. I mean, all this stuff is shot on location, real houses, and real restaurants, real bars, and all that kind of stuff, which is great because it saves you on having to dig up all these props, But then also, it's usually very tight confined, and we're doing steady cam shots and tracking shots and all that. So literally, just on the other side of right behind DJ, there's probably about like 10 of us standing,
Well, and another thing to note is you had fewer takes than you get to now, and because we shot on film, it was
And it's
16,
expensive.
and
Yeah.
you had to get your performance in a certain amount of time because of
Yeah.
rollouts and switching
Yeah.
mags and stuff. So it's this is an entire different age of filmmaking.
Independent filmmaking, yeah.
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 That a lot of the people now coming out of film schools, it's archaic for them. They.
Yeah, we made this right on the turning point before, digital filmmaking was really coming around and getting cheaper. Everyone had access to a camera and could shoot.
But this was really one of the first indies,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
yeah.
Well, because the process really was expensive. And, yeah, now it's a lot easier, but it doesn't mean that the quality is better.
Yeah.
It's-
And then as far as like having, shooting on film, I still love that aspect. I still love the aesthetics of it, the look of it, the process of it. The only and we did have a video assist, remember?
Yeah.
Old school video assist. Nowadays, you just look in the camera viewfinder. You see exactly what you're shooting. Obviously,
Oh,
you can
yeah.
do color correcting later and all that, but you're seeing all of it. But we had all the pumped out of the film cameras. A little cord over to this little tiny
Video
8
village.
millimeter. So we're looking at little black and white shots, and but that's another how the camera crew is just phenomenal. When I actually went into the lab, after the end of production and looking at all the footage, the colors were great. The exposures were great. They didn't obviously some of the scenes we could tell it was a little bit rushed and the lighting was a little flat, but
I think it's more like, what are you doing, Alex?
they did a great job.
What did they used to call it? A one-light transfer? If you just did a straight transfer without
Yeah.
color correction or something?
Yeah, and obviously we had to trim a lot of stuff, and when it came to transferring all of our film, into a digital format so that we can edit it,
Right.
we use color bars. In each setup you hold up the color bars and all, and typically when you're doing the telescene transfer, you would, adjust the color for each scene according to the color bars that you shoot with the camera. but we wanted to save a lot of money. We didn't want to stop down every shot, so we pretty much set it up at the beginning of the reel and let it run. And that's how consistent they were, shooting it. We didn't
Right.
have to stop down and adjust our colors.
Never go there again. The romance writer in me is going, yeah, right, Alex, I believe that.
So Nancy, you've written a few romance novels.
55.
Wow.
And one horror novelization.
So how do these characters rank as far as the romance? Did I do good here?
Pretty good, but it's a man's point of view here of how a woman would react in a lot of it. So I got to play with the book.
So she's
and
pretty
change
psychotic,
that
yeah.
a little. No, she's typical woman. Yeah,
I think he should have vetted this relationship out more before he got married.
perhaps.
You know.
But this is aren't they married for 7 years? So a lot of rocky past in there. That's in the book. You didn't know that, did you?
It's like the 7 layers of hell.
So she's a patient wife putting up with this crap. But if somebody came up and poured hot coffee on my face in the morning, I would not be amused.
Well, despite how the film ends, I can promise you that if there's a sequel, that Alex is a divorced man by now.
I would think so.
I think so.
I would think so. He and Al out there.
He and Al.
Confirmed bachelors.
One of the complaints we did get about this movie is in the woods, yet only, about 10 minutes of this entire movie are actually in the woods.
But it's about the woods.
But it's about the woods. I always have to say, well, that's where the creatures come from. That's where it kind of
Yep.
starts and all. And we're
Yep,
taking our time building up,
Yeah.
Poor Alex.
I know. Don't you feel sorry for him?
No.
Poor Mr. No. He makes his own trouble.
Again, product placement. I should have, it's Bayer.
Covered that up a little better. And of course, this segue is better explained in the book. But
So in other words, as soon as you get done listening to this commentary,
yeah,
you
go
need to go
get the book.
Get the book.
Yeah,
Get the book.
definitely.
All your questions at the end before you go online and write another bad review of this movie.
Yeah, see what we really
You
meant
need
to
to package them
do.
together in the
There
year.
you go.
There you go.
There. The combo.
The companion book series.
Or you could
Where did
probably
you guys
slip the movie
film
right
film
into the
this?
cover of the book,
Yeah,
or
there
the
you go.
sleeve.
Sure.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Where'd you film this?
We filmed this just outside of Kalamazoo County line. Cousin of mine,
Is this up Allegan Way?
out towards Van Buren.
Oh,
Near
Van
Monster
Buren.
Forest.
Oh. You don't want to tell them because then they'll find an
Yeah, they
animal
had,
and dig him up again.
That's right. He had a couple hundred acres of private land out there.
Now, how hard was it to film running through the woods and all this stuff? As far as planning ahead, or did somebody run backwards in front of you with a camera?
No, yeah, some of the stuff, obviously, when they're running through the woods and the camera's kind of chasing them coming up here and all that, we just...
Steadicam, a lot of it.
A lot
Yeah.
of Steadicam, and and there are some outtakes where you see the camera hitting the ground pretty hard. Fortunately, we didn't break anything.
In the Woods, sponsored by Gander Mountain.
There you go.
And then we'd shoot, slow the film speed down while we're shooting, so you play back normal speed. It moves a little faster and all that.
I'm just glad we had
Lots of
stopped
Steadicam
pegging
work.
our pants by the time we made this film. That fashion had came and gone.
I think some of the best dialogue in this, though, is between these two characters.
Yeah.
I really like the relationship they've got here.
Well, Jim and I became good friends, when we weren't shooting. So it really helped the chemistry.
And I haven't seen Jim, at least over a decade, but a few months ago we had
Yep.
the 15th anniversary screening of this movie at
I
the
didn't
Alamo
recognize
Draft
him
House.
until I heard his voice, and the minute I heard his voice, he's got that smooth radio type voice.
Yeah, but the second, he stepped out of his car when he came up here for the anniversary screening, it was like, Jim Grulich, it's just awesome. And seeing the two of you guys in a room together, even though
Yeah.
you're not Alex and Wayne, it's like, oh my gosh, give me a camera. I want to start shooting a sequel right now.
Now, see, this looks beautiful.
It was a lot of
That's
fun
great.
seeing him because it had been many, almost as long as
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I'm sure there was.
Well,
a
after we
few
shot the
times.
movie, there's film festival circuits that we did together and all that kind of stuff. But
But easily 10 years.
Now,
Yeah.
wasn't he one of the voices in Donors?
Yes, he
that
was.
I just watched.
I was able to, because their voiceover, pull on a lot of different co-stars.
And he's got a great voice. So,
Yeah, that was a tip of the hat there to my original co-star.
Now the process of making this movie, wow. And it's kind of, Nancy, you got involved before you even shot this film.
you had an idea.
I
and a
had an idea.
screenplay.
I had an idea, and I wanted to, do independent horror film. I grew up watching horror films. Some of my favorite memories growing up are at the drive-in watching Lucille Fulci's Zombie,
yeah.
Dawn of the Dead,
And the worse, the better.
America Werewolf in London. I think I went to go see the first show of it, and I snuck back into the theater for like 4 consecutive showings of it. Just kept on going back and forth. So I wanted to make a horror movie, and for my first feature film, I wanted to do a horror movie, and loved, the firefighting aspect, the creatures, the serial killers. So that's why there's a lot of that in the script. But when I first wrote the screenplay, like I said, it was the big version, which the novel reflects. I started going around trying to get investors on board and all that, and I was like, wow, this is kind of big.
Really hard.
What? Have you done a movie before? Well, no, I've done these shorts. They said, well, have you done a movie before? No. So I was able to convince, connive, no. Just convince the
Blackmail.
a few of you,
Whatever it takes.
the crew to come in for one day to shoot a teaser trailer, and that'll be on this Blu-ray right here, the teaser trailer. And we spent 17 and a half hours shooting all these cool scenes, putting it together. DJ, you were in it, and you remember that day.
Oh,
That was
well,
crazy.
I remember that because, if you recall, that's when I wanted to get involved behind the camera with some of the business. That was the first time at my young age that the bank had given me one of those blank checks that I could write a check, and the maximum was $2,500.
Yep.
And I remember calling you and saying, "Let's do this."
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, because we knew we needed to show something to the investors. And so from that moment on, DJ stepped from being in front of the camera to, helping behind the camera, getting this up off the ground. I mean, this is...
But I think it shows there's a lot of filmmakers out there, they just want it given to them. And, sometimes you just have to take that plunge, and you got to take that financial risk.
But we kind of took it a step further, because we went out, we shot the trailer, which was awesome. But then also, I'm like, you know what? We got this trailer. Let's get a novel. And let's do a graphic novel as well, a comic book, So Nancy Gideon came along. Woohoo! Now, how did we first get involved? You writing this?
Well, there was a
Blackmail.
there was an independent bookstore in Kalamazoo, and where I was working, and I had just started. I can't remember how many books I had behind me at that time, probably about 15 or so, but I had written a vampire romance series. And the story goes, you had gone in and talked to the owner and said, this is my idea, I want to have somebody write a novelization of a horror movie. Are there any local authors that might be interested in that?
Before the internet, when I could search you up.
Oh yeah, way before any of that. And he had pulled one of my books off the shelf and said, read this.
I like that shot.
That's perfect.
That's on
really
the
cool.
postcard, or one of them.
Yeah, pretty close to it. So then you had called me. Actually, the bookstore owner called me first, which was good because, you get all sorts of strange people wanting all sorts of strange things. So.
Well, this would still fall into that category.
Yeah, pretty close.
Yeah.
And you explained what you were interested in. I said, because I love movies. I'm a movieaholic from way back, and I had a teenage son who uber horror fan. So I said, okay, we'll see what you have. And slow-mo, things are going to get real.
Watch out, Kevin Hewitt. I'm not going to get hit. Yes, you are. Oh. No, I'm not. Measure it.
Yeah.
I'll back up
There it
a few
is.
feet.
There it is.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. We'll pick the story up after this tension-filled shot.
yeah.
This is very cool, actually. What kind of bones are there? Did you get that, from one of your chicken dinners?
Yeah, some of those, that's catering, yeah. Save the bones, guys. Save the bones after lunch.
Those are some pretty big wings.
No, those are just, the effects guys carved those out.
Now, how long did it take him to make that skull? He was a pretty cool
The
thing.
skull was made way back when we made this teaser trailer.
And we're looking at it right now, sitting
Yeah,
over here
sitting over
in
here.
Lynn's
Yeah.
basement.
Yeah.
Theater.
Yeah, so the skull was made, for the teaser trailer that we shot, a year before we did the movie. And it's made out of plastic resin. They did a great job.
Yeah, he's very
The movie
cool.
version, if you look at the teaser trailer and then you see the final movie version, the horns are a little different. But
Did you
so
break,
I think
did
the
you
claw-
break them?
No, we just wanted to make them out a little more durable. So I think the claw that's behind DJ's foot right there is one of the horns off the old version of the skull.
Ah.
So we reused a lot of props. So.
Yep, this is cool. There's your
Oh, yeah.
mind meld. And of course,
No, my stepfather, he's a big bow hunter. He does bow hunting conventions and that all the time. And he wanted to take this to one of his bow hunting conventions. And he had
and say,
it,
this is what I got.
and he had it there. It was sitting on one of his tables. And he lost count of how many people would come there and say,
Jackalope.
"What is this? Where'd you shoot this? What is this?" It's like, well,
Uh-oh, this is great.
Ted Nugent will
Nothing.
be interested.
Yeah.
all right, here's one of the scares that
Nothing to hear. Uh-oh. Let's get that.
Oh, I soiled myself.
That was a nice jump scare.
yeah. And cue the
Here
fireworks.
you go. Ooh.
So that was great. Every time I love seeing this, like at the film festivals we took it to and all that kind of stuff. At that point, everyone just comes flying out
Yeah.
of the chairs.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
I know it's the same when we had the 15 years later at the
They
Alamo
still
Draft
jump.
House.
Yep, they
watching
still jump.
everybody. There's like
And we
three,
even know it's coming.
I know there's like 3 big scares in this movie, and it gets a.
I'm laughing at my frantic running.
Great skill there.
Well,
I wouldn't call it skill. And I think and I think right about there the cameraman probably fell, so that's why we cut.
Yeah, but they have this great scene in the book
this
where the
is I
creature's
think the-
behind them and
humor.
they shoot the.
Watch
Yes.
the smash cut right to the bar. I think there was some neat elements in the editing that it's kind
Yeah.
of, I promise I'll never go in there again. Cut. That promise was
There you right there.
thrown out the window pretty
Yep.
fast.
Not very long lived, was it?
So Nancy, you wrote the novel.
Oh, wrote the novel. Well, you came over, pitched your idea. You had this huge, big picture of the creature, and
When it had like 4 arms, I think at the time.
yes, it had 4 arms because it must have been back in that Mortal Kombat
Yeah,
day.
probably.
I think it came before that, actually.
Oh no, Mortal
it?
Kombat, old school.
Is it?
But
I'm not a video game guy.
but yeah, and so I said, yep, I'll read the screenplay. And so I thought, oh, geez, don't make it suck. But the hardest thing for me was, as an author, is to see if I could blend somebody else's ideas and words with my own.
Yeah.
Because you had the dialogue there, and I had to build around it.
Yeah.
Jim's
And-
still doing field study like this. He heard that there might be a sequel in his lifetime, and so he's
saying-
continued to practice.
Yep.
Yep, at
This.
every given moment. Yep. There
Now,
you
in
go.
all fairness, he's not a drunk.
He just is a
loves
connoisseur
To
of
research.
German beer.
of German beer. Yes.
Yes, of German beer.
German beer.
It was some really good beer he brought to the
Yeah,
anniversary.
yeah. He did. He brought some great German beer. Yeah. Well, I was nervous and excited too when you turned over your manuscript.
To see
reading
what
that,
had happened?
To see what happened. To see if my story stood up. And I was amazed. I mean, when I was
And
reading
some
it was,
of it even got tweaked into the movie.
Oh, the
It did.
power
It
drink.
did. So
did,
that,
yeah,
ooh, there
because
you go.
I practiced that.
Kick
too,
that
so,
right
you
back.
know.
I know you
Thank
hated
you,
it.
Michigan State University.
Prepping me for this role.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but-
you're right. After reading the novel, and then finally realizing, so we had this teaser trailer, the novel, which was picked up and published pretty quick.
yeah.
So we had that out. The graphic novel, we got all the way through the pencil stages.
Oh, and it was beautiful
It was
stuff.
beautiful stuff. The artwork was amazing, but we had to pretty much stop production on that because the finances at that time we needed to sink into the movie because the investors are coming on board.
Yep,
So it's
yep.
like let's get this going. And I think a lot of it had to do with just a smashing novel. We got great reviews.
Oh, yeah, we
and
got
teaser
some good
trailer,
stuff
and then
on
we
that.
moved into production.
Oh, is it going to be romance?
No,
Is it?
not
Is it?
quite. No,
Oh,
no. Beat
It's
him
a
up.
domestic abuse movie. That's what it is.
That
Well,
poor guy.
Honestly, guys, that's probably romantic to some people.
Yeah, I guess whatever.
Look, she was ready.
She was
That's
ready.
She had
the
her
other thing
bags
I was saying.
packed.
She already knew exactly, if I ever leave Alex, these are the garments I'm taking.
She probably never unpacked her bag from the last time.
From the last time she went to her mom's house.
And that was one of obviously
feel so
making the movie. That
sorry.
was one of those instances where guys, we got like an hour.
For
We gotta
you
shoot
kids
this whole
out
scene.
there, that piece of plastic with a cord, that
That
there
is
was
a
a phone.
phone.
Yeah.
There's no pictures on it. No,
You can't text with it.
no, can't text, no Facebook.
Oh.
Look at that handsome leading man and that chiseled
Okay, now
jaw.
check out this shot right here. See, I did a lot of cool camera tricks in here that people don't even realize,
Oh.
He comes out his door, but we're actually shooting through another door as we pull back, and there's a lot of other great, like,
Nice.
little
Thank
camera
you
reveals,
for
swinging
tooting that
gates.
horn. That's
Yes,
wonderful.
Yes.
Under this beard, there's still a little chisel. You got-
There's that smile. Uh-oh.
Yeah, too bad you can't see DJ right now, but he does kind of look like Alex has been hiding out in the woods. Looking a little rough around the edges there.
Now, see, I really enjoyed this scene here. I had a lot of people ask about, how we achieved
Yeah,
what
'cause
they're
look
about
here.
to see. And I don't know, we probably talked about it in the other commentary, but what you're about to see is a secondary use of breakfast. That's orange juice and egg casserole.
Yeah.
Chewed up for about
And-
5
And just-
minutes until action.
And it was amazing you were able to hold
Nicely
that in your mouth.
spewed.
Yeah.
Well,
And
All
this
right.
guy, I
Oh.
love him. Is that Connor
Buck.
Pellman?
fine.
And the guy, that's my favorite line. This one.
Shit is what we got. No, wait. We got blood, and we got some ribs. All we need now is some corn, and we got
And we got a barbecue.
And we
I
got a
just love
barbecue.
that.
Yeah. Was that your line or my line?
I don't remember.
I know.
I'll let you take credit for it.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'd sound kind of vain saying that's my favorite line in the movie.
No, I'll point out my favorite shot in the movie, so it's okay.
There was such good dialogue in this. You're a little late for that worry there, Alex.
Oh, look at Camo. Now, oh man, Camo owes us money now too.
Oh,
Product plug.
They're desperate for marketing now, so
oh, I know.
I'm sure they would.
27 days. That's how long it took us to shoot this movie.
Wow,
You
amazing.
remember all that, DJ? Do you remember what you
Oh,
did
yeah.
every day of the shoot?
Not in order.
Yeah.
Now, did you shoot it linear like this, or did
Oh, no,
bits and
we were
pieces
shooting,
whenever you had the locations?
Yeah. I spent knowing all that we wanted to do, all the different, effect shots, all the different locations, all the different actors. I mean, like I said, it was really ambitious for us, the first time feature
That's
film.
Matt Murdock,
Yep.
Richard Jewell.
I spent a lot of time planning the shoot, blocking it out, and just so we can get everything done. Stuart McDonald right there.
Oh, love Stu.
Professional magician.
And pretty
toured
soon
the world.
Yep,
Awesome.
you're going to see him doing magic tricks here. Were some of these guys firemen?
John.
Or were
is
they all
that guy's
actors?
name.
No, all actors.
All actors.
Hozak?
This, John Hosick,
Isn't that what it is? Yeah.
Richard Jewell.
Yeah.
This right here was, I think, the first big dialogue scene that I shot for the movie.
A lot of characters.
A lot of
Yeah.
characters getting the table coverage. It was one of the worst scenes for me to edit because, I really didn't have a handle on how to shoot this much dialogue to get that much coverage. I should have had just a big wide master shot and probably focused on that a little bit more and then pop in and out of these close-ups here. So this is a tough scene for
Live
me to
and
watch.
learn.
Live and learn. Yep.
Now, I enjoyed the scene because of, while the dialogue's flying around right here, you can tell just through the eyes,
Yeah.
that Alex has been through some bad stuff.
Yeah. And he just so happens to bring up, after all this fun dialogue, oh, yeah, there was a body part at my house.
yeah.
By the way,
It's mealtime conversation.
body parts. This is actually my second breakfast. The first one's still on the
Oh,
garage
yeah,
floor.
exactly.
Nice.
Sure, I'm hungry for some lunch, as I couldn't keep my
Yeah,
breakfast
that's
down.
quite
Yeah.
it's quite a motley crew of firefighters there,
But they look like
But I
they
would trust
could
them,
be.
yeah.
They
Yeah,
look
I
like
would
they
trust
could
those
be.
guys. Yeah, back at the opening shot, it was all of our actors in the fire gear, with real firefighters kind of
Mm-hmm.
scattered in the midst of them. Those were the guys that climbing the ladders carrying the real axes.
Yeah,
You know,
we wouldn't
so-
let you guys do that.
Oh, no.
No.
But it was so hot
No
that
insurance
day.
for that.
So hot that day, everyone would strip out of their fire gear and just jump into the pool. And this right here, first shot of the movie, wasn't it?
Terry. Isn't
Terry.
it?
This was the first shot that we did for the movie.
Yep.
And this is our first glimpse
Mm-hmm.
of what's to come.
Another great long Steadicam shot.
That is
you know?
nice.
Nicely lit by David Loewen and his people.
It is beautiful.
Yeah. And that's the thing, doing these long Steadicam shots, I mean, actually, they take a while to do. I mean, just practicing, getting all the timing down and all that kind of stuff, but also the lighting, because you're going to be, you know, your camera's going to be covering a lot more area, so a lot more time lighting it.
Yeah, but they pull the audience
know.
right along with
Yeah.
them. Uh-oh. What the heck?
You see some drips of goo, slobber come down.
Those boxes are going to protect him, aren't they?
All right. So now we're getting some monsters in there. There's
Okay.
that devil gerbil that we've been referencing for a while. Okay, so we shot in 27 days. I think we had the first cut of the movie. I sat down with Larry Osterman. We edited the film, I think in,
8 days or something.
yeah, our
Oh,
first
wow.
cut of the movie. And then we did some tweaking. Then we went over to a Harvest Music and Sound Design out of Lansing, Michigan. They
8
did all
months. No.
They did all the audio post-production work. Great music that they composed
Yeah.
in here, you know.
I got to do the ADR script,
Yeah.
which was exciting.
Yeah, that's one of the things. In order to help save money during the production
Rachel
of this,
Walker, I wonder
I
if she's
love
still
her.
Oh,
active.
she's great.
She was my favorite character in
And
this.
that's one of the questions that a lot of people have is like, why does it seem dubbed? Well, most big Hollywood movies you see nowadays, like 80% of the dialogue is dubbed anyways, big action flicks and all that kind of stuff. And she was shooting in 16 millimeter. We weren't shooting Super 16, we were shooting 16, you know, so we were recording our audio separately. And, you know, it kind of got down to it when we were listening to it that it just seemed, it seemed a little hollow. So it was like, let's start dubbing it. And then next thing you know, well, let's get these actors in and do their line. And now the audio is sounding a little mishmatched.
So did you have to go through the whole thing?
We did ADR,
Yeah.
the entire movie.
I'm biting my tongue right now.
Oh, no,
You know,
I'd love to hear it.
Well, you'll never know. We don't know if that was completely right decision or wrong decision.
Right.
I as an actor, anytime you recreate something in the studio, you're never going to have the nuances
Yeah.
that come with
Right,
being
right.
in the moment.
Spontaneous, yeah.
Right.
You know, and
Now you got me watching their lips.
I think,
Well, here's
you know
the thing.
what?
A lot of it is great, you can't tell.
But see,
Yeah.
subconsciously, I think the mind can pick up on small nuances, even though they can't tell that something is off or
Yeah.
disconnected. It's like you register a disconnect, even if you can't immediately recognize it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just over time you've kind of realized that. So, you know, and
Yeah,
again, that could be
not
that-
everybody picks it up. Like, you know, that's
well,
one
when
thing
there's
I actually
action, you're kind of distracted by the explosion and,
Right,
and
right.
everything
Quieter
else.
moments.
But when you're really close, and you can see their faces.
Yeah.
But with the
There's one scene that we did not ADR in this whole movie.
Oh, yeah.
And if you can send me an email, get in touch with me, and let me know the scene.
Which
When it's
one?
out there, we'll send you a signed copy of the novel, the Blu-ray, whatever. You let me know. See, I can't tell you now because they'll know.
But for people who don't know what an ADR is, that's your dubbing script.
Yeah, that's a dubbing script. Yep.
So what Lynn sent me is a copy of the movie with
Oh.
just the dialogue tracks. And
Yep.
it was so cool to watch because there's no sound to distract you. There's no music.
Mm-hmm.
There's just, occasionally you can hear background noises, but you don't have anything else. And you have to recreate all the hums, the throat clearings, the sounds, everything in a script.
all that.
But
And
you
of course-
you can't understand everything very clear. I mean, so that is the trade-off.
Yeah.
Right.
Which, I think filmmakers are looking for, they want the best presentation of the clarity, but, just coming from the talent side, you're looking
Yeah.
for the nuances of
Sure.
the emotional. So
Yeah. Oh, here comes another.
this
one
is
shot of
this
mine.
is a beautiful sequence
See,
here.
sorry, I think this is one long continuous shot here too. Yeah, another great job with the lighting and all.
Well, and let's not forget the sound design. I think even the little stuff
Yeah.
like this gate that we're about to hear.
Oh, yeah, and there's our cool blue lighting. And here's the thing about doing long shots. I mean, we're still on this first shot from when he was
Right.
inside the house, looking out.
And that continuity just kind of brings the audience
Yeah.
around, makes more tension than the cutting back and forth in
See,
this
now here we are on the opposite side of the
creaky
gate, so it's
Yeah.
Some
So,
little tricks like that we had.
so you're
throughout there.
wondering, where is the camera guy standing? Is he backing up?
Ew.
Ew. Thank goodness he hadn't just eaten.
No, I think there was a lot of stuff that were, really above and beyond.
Yeah, which is what's, and I think people see that and get that out of it, and that's why 15 years later, the small little independent movie that we made, I mean, here we are on its third release,
Yeah.
home video release, and the drinking game that has been inspired. Have we talked about that, DJ? You kind of brought that up to my attention.
Oh yeah, and it was done at the
A catharsis mug.
the theatrical.
I love that.
Oh yeah.
Little product placement there.
I learned a lot of marketing and stuff from Lynn. I have to give him credit on that. The drinking game, anytime gerbil, hamster, anything like that is mentioned, people take a drink of whatever they're drinking, be it beer, wine, booze.
And we attempted that at the screening.
We did. There was no attempt about it. I was sitting
I
next
ran
to
out of
Jim.
booze.
Oh, well.
So I was out about halfway through the movie. It's like, oh, waiting for the waitress to bring me something else so I can continue the game, see if I can make it.
So it's become a game where, people, they enjoy themselves with it.
Which is why we were talking about packaging a little shot glass along with the movie so they could partake
And a roll
in.
card, yes.
Anytime.
the
gerbil
box
or
set.
hamster. The box.
Now the box set.
And a little boxed wine to go with it.
Because it makes perfect sense for the lead detective in an investigation.
Oh,
to bring
and that
the main
is
suspect
not a
and stuff.
hamster or a gerbil. That is a guinea pig, that first shot.
You got to take a drink if
see?
you see one, too.
And this is a location that, our lighting was
Renee Paltz,
not good. We were having,
Joe, your former roommate, and I don't recall who
I feel terrible, I forget her name.
well, we're getting old. It's been 15 years.
Actually, longer than that since we shot the movie.
Correct.
I think in 97. Was it 1997, the summer of 97 that we shot this?
I got my first.
And then I think...
It had to be around
Yeah, and then in
there.
98, we had the world premiere at the East Lansing
Oh.
Film Festival.
I remember that. That was
Yeah.
wonderful.
Well, there was a
And then-
showing here at the theater in
Yeah.
Kalamazoo.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think it was just a couple months after the premiere at the East Lansing Film Festival that we got picked up for distribution, our first home video release. And that came out, I think, in November 1999.
Don't tell me. You bought
Yeah.
a hamster from us the other day. No. God, I'm so embarrassed. I'm
So
sorry.
dramatic.
It's just that we got the shipment of hamsters in.
Hamsters.
Hamsters, gerbils. I mean, so far, this one scene right here is enough to, if you're doing the drinking
Yeah, if
game,
you're
to
playing the
put you under
drinking
table.
game, you are in the bag by this time. You are.
What would you do over if you had a monster budget? And
If I had a
could
monster's budget,
not a monster budget, but well, actually, if
Well,
you
actually, it
had a
would be. It
monster
would be.
budget.
Nancy, we wouldn't be sitting here. Stephen King would be writing the novel,
Yeah,
and
there you
you'd have, some other leading
I could do
man.
a forward on it.
Yep. Well, actually, honestly, if it would be so much fun to have an opportunity to remake this movie with resources this
Right.
time. And what
Well, even the technological advances.
yeah. The first thing I would do is actually make. It's interesting. I wrote the screenplay. Then you wrote the novel based off my screenplay. But then I would love to sit down and actually take your novel and write a new screenplay. You know
Based
what I
on
mean?
that.
Off your novel, because the way you fleshed it out, brought all these new elements to the story. I love it. I love the novelization.
And then we'd be
And-
sitting there for a 6-hour movie. We'd have
Yeah,
to have an intermission. And here's Henderson
It's
Castle.
a mini series on Stars.
All right.
And this is great. I think at the time we shot this, it was this was used as a law office. There was an attorney in there using it as a law office.
Oh yeah.
And the character right here says, like, his wife wants to turn this into a bed and breakfast. He thinks she's crazy, blah, blah, blah. Now,
It's a bed and breakfast.
So,
As a matter of fact, we had a meeting there, and on their pamphlet it says where in the woods is
Oh.
filmed.
That's
nice.
cool. It was a great location.
That is very
Oh, yeah.
cool.
And once again, great job with the lighting, guys, lighting that whole exterior.
Yeah, 'cause that's got to be difficult.
Everybody lecturing Alex. That could have
that
been the
poor
title of the
guy.
film too.
They tell him not to drink anymore, but all they're doing is bitching at him.
Yeah, spare me the lectures. There it is, right there. Enough is enough.
Let's go. Watch your step there. All this stuff is broken up.
I'll fix it. All right, in this angle, you see we got a real fire sitting over there, you know, but in a lot of the reverse shots where you don't see the fire, it's like a little light firebox.
Flicker
kind of
box,
faking it, flicker
yeah.
box, yeah. Now look at that table right there. See how cheap that table is? You got all this nice furniture, then you got this cheap little plywood table. We tried to cover it with this big old doily because we knew that we were going to end up smashing it later.
Oh!
It's very nice to meet you. Elizabeth's told me quite a bit about you.
Anything she can tell
Yeah, great lighting and all this, you know, on these interior shots.
Elizabeth, I'd like you to meet a friend of mine.
And it's so interesting. The owner, I don't know how many levels are inside this.
Oh,
castle.
it goes on and
Couple.
on.
Yeah.
Because there's a hot tub on the roof now.
That's right.
Oh, there was back then.
Was there then? Oh, that's right, because it was a Royce.
Yeah, you can right up on the top and you can overlook.
Because I was
the
noticing that there
Kalamazoo.
was no handrails, and I'm like,
No, there aren't.
Because the lawyer said, "Oh, we drink in hot tub up here," and I'm thinking,
Seriously?
you would not want to be tipsy. up
No,
here.
no gerbil hamster games on that.
Oh,
hey, now.
man.
That's a long roll down that hill.
I still find it amazing that he basically gave us the keys
to the
this-
castle.
To the castle. He gave us the keys to the castle, literally, and we, you know, we were in there firing off squibs and gunfire
Oh,
and
too bad you
breaking
couldn't have done
furniture.
something on that staircase. That thing is
Oh
gorgeous.
yeah.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we did a Gone with the Wind.
So obviously this shot right here, you know, you got this little light flickering, you know, to simulate the fire and all that.
I like the symbolism of the distance between them.
Mm-hmm.
You'll sit here, and you'll sit here.
Give me some sugar.
Oh, there we go.
Oh,
Aw.
You know.
I believe that now.
Yeah. All right, everyone's getting back together. Movie's over.
Ha ha. Nope, now we're getting up to the dark moment.
Yeah.
Do you want the filet mignon?
But of course.
They're in the garage freezer.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, see, in the book, Larry, is this Larry, right?
Yep.
Yep, he and Alex are old friends, and that's why he gets invited here. Because actually, and another element they don't
Oh,
bring
because
in
you-
is they're protecting him from this serial killer that they think is the one that's killing all these people. It's not really brought
Yeah.
out in this movie, but
So,
at this point, so at
so
this
in other
point
words,
they
you're-
all
you,
think
you filled in all my plot holes.
yes. Well, they were in the screenplay, but you just didn't have room to do them here. So at this point, all the police are thinking Alex is this killer.
Yep.
Perhaps, and he is their prime suspect.
Yeah.
Part
And they-
cannibal.
Yes,
Alex
he must
Kerwood.
be. Must be a heck of. You must have been working out. Tear off those people's limbs and stuff like that.
I like that line here. What do you think? I chewed these people up?
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. Now that we get to it. Yeah, here goes one of my favorite shots right here when the devil call dog comes tearing around the corner. You know, we had some vases in the background exploding from the gunfire and all.
It was
Should
a,
have-
yeah.
Yeah.
It was a cool scene.
And I think we were shooting this like maybe about like 4 o'clock. There's a staircase. About 4 o'clock in
yeah.
the morning, you know?
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Nice screaming.
Yeah.
And there's that dog wagging his tail
Yeah.
because he's getting.
Bam!
Oh, there goes our... Oh!
Oh! Now see, that's the one thing I changed.
No
is that
stuntman
ripping
required.
Off that arm. And he's talking about putting a tourniquet. How do you put a tourniquet on an arm once it's gone?
Well, yeah. Well, you know,
The upper stump. Come
all he
on.
needs to do is just push it back.
Yep. But the poor girl's going to be bleeding
Yeah.
out. And
Yeah, we did have some...
okay, here's something for the ladies. Thank you, DJ.
Very welcome.
Just stuff it up. Stuff it up. Now, I want to say...
That was
This
a
was
demand
awesome.
by that
This
was a
was
demand
awesome.
by Lynn, right?
Yeah. It was awesome watching this scene in the crowded theater. Because people, first off, some are like in shock, you know, because we just ripped her arm off. But other folks are just laughing, you know, when you're trying to stuff her armhole up with his shirt. And I mean, it was just, it's absurd.
I could have used some direction right about that.
Yeah, where was the director when this was going on?
Smoke break or something?
It's 4 in the morning. He's probably running around that sofa.
Someone wake up, Lynn. I'm not sure what to do with this stump here. Just do whatever.
Oh Oh, you guys shot the scene? I didn't know.
Look at that intense look.
There you go.
I was laughing about the only thing Amy said to me was,
What?
"Try not to get any of that blood in my hair. It's really sticky." So of course, what do? I
You're
pet
petting her hair. Okay, now there's this segue. There's no explanation. All of a sudden, he's out in the woods.
Yeah, well, there's a little bit more. We're gonna have him waiting for the ambulance to come pulling up and stuff like that.
Right. Oh, do you
So-
have some extra scenes with that?
Before he ditches out. Well, it's stuff that we never shot because
Oh.
we're on a
Limited budget.
limited budget. And this is us just waking DJ up. He slept in his car during the shoot. We couldn't
Yeah.
afford a hotel.
And of course, he wakes up shirtless, of course.
Well, you know,
It's like, well, come on, DJ. Time to get out. We're shooting a movie here.
if we weren't shooting, I wouldn't
And
have
it
been wearing
wasn't this
pants. What are you talking about?
And Stuart's favorite thing is slope.
Whoa! Now, see, something could have come jumping out of the water right about then.
Dun dun dun
Yeah.
dun. Oh yeah.
Michigan Gators. Wasn't there one day on set where I tricked you and gave you decaf coffee or something like that?
Yep. Well, you ran out and you thought that you could
wouldn't
just get
notice.
by, and it's when I come to Jim Grulick's house, and I mean, we were deep into the shoot. It was the last week, and I was just putting the coffee down,
Yeah.
and I was not waking up, and I remember being, because I'm like, I've drank so much and nothing's happening, and that's when Lynn said, "I got to make a confession to you. That's decaf." I was kind of not happy. I was like, "What are you doing to me?" I was wondering why
Just
I
messing with your
couldn't
psyche
wake
there.
up. Yeah. I've got a relationship with coffee, not decaf. That's
Then, of course,
Now this-
the book will tell you, and the screenplay as well, that he is actually on the run because they think he's killed the people in this house.
Yes.
And so, of course, his motivation is to find this devil dog
This
and
beast will be done.
and clear his name, and also avenged this mauling of his wife.
And this, all these locations here at the fire department and all that, it was great.
Are these? Is this on Portage? Is this Portage, or
Well,
is this
Sprinkle.
one on?
as
oh, it's on
much as
Sprinkle.
his wife complained to him.
He's probably
I think
thinking,
he was
"Geez,
more
this
trying
is
to
nice."
clear his name than revenge.
Oh, she pulls through. Well, okay, but
This was a great scenery here. I love
Yeah.
shooting.
That's why he only half-heartedly was trying to
yeah.
stop the
Oh,
bleeding.
okay, honey. I'll just make an attempt.
Oh, she didn't pull through.
Oh, I did my best.
Son of a.
See, he's not really upset.
A devil dog, like that devil gerbil we were talking about.
Yep. This whole thing is Wayne's fault, isn't it? This whole movie. Because
Yes.
he's the one that wanted to dig up the cross in the first place.
Yeah.
Because I told him, don't dig it up. But,
But if it wasn't for those people that never listen, there
Wayne
wouldn't be
Higley.
any great horror movies.
This was
Yeah.
fun. I think my direction for the scene was, guys, beat him up.
Jim
Jim,
tried to
stop
stop him.
Everybody wants to take a shot at Alex about
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, and there's
Hey,
good
as long as they're
tackle,
not
good tackle.
lecturing me. Yeah, go ahead. Try
Stop
to
it.
punch me, kick me, whatever. Just don't lecture me, okay?
That's right. He's done with the lectures. I think we spent 4 days total shooting at this castle here. It's just great stuff.
And the good thing is you've got the Anne, who is never, is she ever named in this? Anne, good night. Who is your voice of reason in a crowd. It kind of reminds me of Jaws at this part when you've got the little the little dish pan with the leftovers
Yeah.
in it. And
Yeah.
she's saying, and they're saying, no, it's got to be bigger than that. The
Yeah.
bite radius is so big.
Yeah,
It's
I
the
like
same.
that.
I like that. It lends she lends some gravitas to it because she is so serious, and she's.
And it was
amazing,
great. It was
too.
great shooting these scenes.
Yeah.
I just
And those
watching-
English accents always say
Always make
authority.
you. Yes, they
Yeah.
do.
Well,
And
most-
with Buck's signature voice.
He's
and
great.
Just the two of them. I mean, just great conversations to shoot and watch and edit.
Nasty mess.
Yeah, the newspapers are gonna roast me over the hot coals for this one.
I was talking about Larry and his wife and that Kerwood woman.
Yep.
Yep.
Buck.
Oh, so,
Yeah,
so was I.
Yeah. And is there any symbolism to that eagle picture behind her? I don't know.
There could be. Now there is.
Now there is.
Look for the Easter eggs.
That's right. Try
It's like,
Anywho.
yep, it's like all the symbolism in Old Man in the Sea, and it says, this is a story
That
about
eagle
a
says
fish.
"Made in the USA."
Oh, yes.
There's a see. We
There's
have
the
a staircase in
stairway,
there.
yeah.
You know, with the stained glass all up in there. They say that castle's haunted.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Well, then people say every castle's haunted.
Of course.
So.
Killer house pet that's not satisfied with table scraps anymore.
I'm not talking about.
Two great actors.
Yeah, they are.
This whole
very
thing
good.
where, you know, we would shoot like 2 pages of dialogue, just bam, set the camera up and let them, they would go through the whole scenes, and I mean, just fun. And still give me different options with takes and all, so.
Vice grip jaws. Jeez, what a little less late night television.
And the thing is, you know, as they're talking about the difference between, you know, your horror aspects and your reality aspects. So, mock me if you want. See?
Yeah.
I intend to see that whatever ripped him apart is caught and destroyed.
You go, Anne.
Great stuff. The camera operator right there is Larry Olserman, who edited the movie. Reporter. Well, I know the reporter.
And that's my favorite line. That's the
Wife
line
Lisa?
you put in there.
Oh, the firefighter training grounds.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I think in the original book there was going to be like an old abandoned house or something.
Yeah,
you know?
well, it was the house that, from the beginning of the movie.
That's right, yeah.
That he had lost the mother and child.
Yep. But we ended up, the
It was a little
firefighters let us use the
safer.
firefighter training ground because we were going to be using explosives. Once again, low budget independent movie, but I mean, we've got gunfire, we got explosions. We'll
Yeah,
talk about
what's
that
not
when we
to
get to
like?
it. DJ doing his
No
own.
stuntman. I
No
did my
stuntman.
own
DJ doing his
stunts.
own fireball.
Yeah.
That's right.
And you know, all your heroes are always walking away from the fire behind them.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the Bureau, I like these Bureau guys.
These guys are great.
Chad
Look at
Randall.
how tight their collars are. That's so realistic.
So, Chief, why weren't we notified of these human remains?
Which one's the muscle?
I've been busy.
We would appreciate cooperation.
The good cop, bad cop
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, that's what we got going on there.
Look, why don't you guys go out and have a seat? We'll take you out to the house in a few minutes.
We'll go now.
Have you contacted Alex yet?
No.
Very Jackie Gleason, huh? Smoking the Bandit kind of sheriff.
You know what I recall from this scene? The huge dinner spread that was brought in by your relatives that did the catering. It was like a Thanksgiving dinner.
And so
Yeah, I
you
think
guys
it
are
was- yeah, I
anxious
think
to
just
get
on the
through
other side
this
of
one
that
take, please.
Brick wall, yeah.
Every day we had such incredible catering on this film.
Maybe that's the problem with the movie. We spent way too much on food.
Well, I don't think there was a huge cost. I think they just like to cook.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
You know.
And that doesn't fall far from the tree there, does it, Dave?
No, I love cooking.
Uh-oh. Master key.
Look at just like a cat bringing a mouse home.
Can't remember whose head this was supposed to be. See, we had backstories for all of our
Backstories, yeah. We're
victims,
supposed to see all these victims being attacked and all that.
which would have been very cool.
So the movie is just basically, you know, the cliff notes for the novel. You know, so
I'm wishing
Cool
it's
lady.
one of the people who keep lecturing me.
Yeah.
oh, the poor guy that was inside that devil dog suit. This was the last night that we had the whole suit in one piece because it would just get too hot. So we ended up cutting the suit in half.
So you
know,
got
'cause
some
before they
guy
would
on his
climb in-
hands and knees?
Yeah, before you would climb in through the back to get in the suit and all that kind of stuff, and we'd seal it
Stupid
up.
childproof lighter.
Yeah.
All right, DJ, you want to talk about your
This
stunt
great
here?
scene.
How did you do this?
Well,
First off, this is very Wile E. Coyote. You know, of you.
Acme. The Acme
it say
explosive.
to be honest, you just got to do it.
Yeah.
You know, and
Were you kind of nervous about it? I mean, these are real explosions here.
Yeah,
well, I remember him saying, you know, there's a chance when you're jumping sideways that the flames could come up underneath everything. And
Did they tell you that before you did the scene?
oh yeah, and it was hot, but
you did it twice. Yeah, we had it
The
on tape, said it
adrenaline.
twice.
yeah.
Oh, here's Al. This is a great scene.
Stuart McDonald. And this is still part of the thing. You got the whole serial killer aspect, you know,
Yeah, this really brings him in.
and the interrogation and all. You know, I just wish that we had more prior to this of him getting victims. But then, like you said, if we had more of a budget, we could show more of the serial killer, setting that up a bit more and set up more of the devil dog going out getting his victims.
Right.
And
So
there's
this is ripe for a remake.
Michael Brown goes by Malik now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see him a couple times a year.
Yeah.
He's from my hometown.
All right.
Yeah, and the original scene I think you've got in the screenplay, this is in like a convenience store. And he shoots apart this Pringles display.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, that was great. And of course, then there's no in depth to the serial killer, which was really cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what his motivation is for all this havoc he's been raining upon this town.
I like he's so proud of himself. He decides today I'm going to buy myself a new knife.
Yes. Here, would this cut through fingers?
Yeah. Can I borrow your finger?
She just got bolt cutters or something.
You would think.
Yeah.
So he's in just 2 scenes. Our actor.
Yeah, this one and
just 2 scenes, and then the interrogation scene. Yet leaves an impact.
Yeah, he's just downright creepy.
Mm-hmm. Nosy.
Nice manicure.
I saw cigarettes fall out of that backpack.
There's no smoking in here.
Yeah, this makes.
But of course, back then you could.
Yeah. Like I said, there's a few scenes in this that I'd love to have more time to shoot. Better coverage and angles and all that. But a lot of times we were just running and gunning.
I think it is.
Stop right there! No!
In his little shorty shorts, aren't those cute?
Yep.
God damn it! I said stop.
I would
Marcus,
listen
he's
to
the
him.
killer. I just saw some fingers fall out of his bag.
You saw one
Open
finger.
the bag, Al. Don't you fucking move, man.
Oh, that.
Oh.
That gets good cheers when we see it.
Oh yeah. Oh, macho stew.
Now, one thing we did have in the budget was police tape.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Abundance of it. Yeah, your day's not going good when you come home and find a bunch of that.
And there's that shed you were gonna finish.
Yeah.
Right next to that patio you were gonna build, but never did because you were always at the bar.
Oh, it's all that nagging. It was,
Couldn't take it.
passive resistance. I'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah, it's
Stop
another day.
nagging me.
Police,
Say what?
stay there.
This guy reminds me of a lot of our local police officers.
Oh, now here's a fun scene.
Oh yeah.
I'm making a point to make him unrecognizable.
Except one.
Who? Who was
I think
pretty young thing. What's she special?
such a great performance here. It's just go over the top, let it all out. And he's like, "Well, how far do you want me to go? Do you want me to really, really push it?" I'm like,
Push it.
"Let it go."
Ring any bells? I don't know anything about that.
Listen, you've been very forthcoming with us so far, so why don't you just...
It's almost how DJ got when I gave him that decaf coffee.
Yeah. Could have been some serial killings happening on the
Come
set.
on, who do you think we're talking about here? I've got evidence here that we found at his house that puts...
And this poor guy, he doesn't want anybody else getting credit for
That's right,
all
that's
his
right.
hard work.
That's right.
That pretty boy fireman, no
Yeah,
way.
taking all the credit for the killing.
It was me. I like the way they get this confession.
I did it! I picked him! I killed him!
I love Buck's look back there. He's like,
Yeah, that's that great Fed smile. Thank you.
What?
He just called us. He wants us to go down there.
Nobody help me, piggy!
Piggy.
You're fucked, all right? You're
Alex
fucked!
took care of the problem.
We're gonna go down there. Why don't you
He's like, "What about
stay
me?"
here and watch this...
Wait a minute, I'm supposed to be the headliner here.
The interrogation room is actually the entryway to the women's restroom at a local TV station. Oh. So, it was just, we were there
It
looking for
works.
some place that had some brick walls and
There
all
you
that.
go.
I was like, all right. Now, here comes one of the best jump scares in the whole movie.
Yeah,
right
this,
here.
you don't expect this.
So I sent somebody over there. They're gonna find animal parts all over the place, right?
What'd I just tell him? I told you I blew the whole place up.
You know, it seems a little funny to me. You'd leave Larry's place, leave your wife laying there.
And also during editing of this, we're starting to edit the movie and we realized, we still have not focused on the history of these monsters, and it had to be explained during this scene because we introduce monster number 2. Why is there 2 monsters at this point? Why is there the first one? But now that we had, double them up, we really need to explain something.
Well, if you just use that first 2 chapters. No.
Well, we wanted to use the first 2 chapters.
I know.
But, so as part of the, when we shot the teaser trailer, a year before to help raise money for the movie, we were able to get a couple performers from the Renaissance.
Oh, yeah,
Fair.
they're great.
That came in to do some, even the stories, big medieval knights and all that, we were thinking, well, we'll just have them, for the teaser trailer, it's all right. If we use just a couple reenactors, to do like a quick little fight in the woods to help set up that there's this whole, medieval aspect of this whole story. And it was something that we were hoping to get to, during production of the movie, but it wasn't on our main shooting schedule. And, we just really couldn't afford, DJ, could we, to, shoot this big battle scene between knights and
I
all
remember
that.
when you got that plastic armor that one time, and we were examining this. No, this will never work.
They'll see through that.
What's this?
Okay.
Hello.
Oh my, look outside. Ah!
Great reaction from those 2 with a gun.
Whoa! And that whoosh,
Yep.
rush in for the close up.
No, yeah, I would do over have him just rip his guts out as he walks past, but that's okay.
Oh, poor Alex. He just gets the soup kicked out of him here.
But he's not lecturing me.
No, but he's
Well.
imparting wisdom of the ages.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so here's the stuff from the teaser trailer, and we just figured,
That's pretty nice looking eyeballs.
yeah, we just got to get something in there. And then we just explain it verbally, in the next scene coming up. But
Whose house is that? That's nice.
Yeah, Wayne started all this, and now
Yeah, and he's in there just.
he's enjoying it.
And Alex, that timid little knock on the door.
I know, yeah, I probably should have come in and just kicked it down at this point. But
Yeah, I should have just kicked his shit in.
and there needed to be a glass breaking sound there.
It's still alive, Wayne.
What? I thought you were gonna blow it up.
I did blow it up, but the thing, I don't know, it's still alive though.
Shit!
I love the tone here because you're getting the more comedic tone. It almost reminds me of Tremors movies, where you've got the monsters and the guys and
Yeah.
it's still fun and serious. But
And there
it's
are
just-
people that said that, we
wish
should have
they'd
kind of
done that.
maintained that tone all the way through.
Right.
Yep.
Versus allowing some of the drama. But,
Oh, yeah, you 2 guys are great here.
Yeah,
and
this is
another
good.
one of my favorite reaction shots. My favorite reaction shot of this whole movie is like, and that's your plan.
And that's your plan.
And,
yeah,
and you're
it's-
just sitting there nodding your head like,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and it's funny because the different times we had talked about, any idea for a follow-up or a sequel, I think that is the chemistry and
Yeah.
tone that
Oh,
you
it
would want
is.
to try to
Totally.
follow.
It is, without being ridiculous. I mean, just the idea that you're almost tongue-in-cheek, but not over the top.
Right. And for these flashbacks, let's pretend that I CG'd in about 10,000 knights
Yep.
fighting.
I
Okay.
can see him.
Okay. See him?
Yep.
Pretty awesome.
Wrong time period for the costuming, but that's okay.
But it works now
But
because
it does.
because it's so goofy at
It's
this
more
point.
like-
where you're like,
The
anyways.
creatures were created with
Okay.
the tutors. Yeah.
No, you were the one who took us out to
You're the one. Blame Wayne.
Well,
No. You helped.
Yeah, because I was forced to by my boss.
show me the empty grave. So now all we have to do is we lure
all right. Here comes the great little pause. That just gets me every time.
And that's your plan.
All right, here it is.
Yeah. We're gonna ambush a monster.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I think at that point the audience is thinking that as well.
But then you're enjoying it, so you don't
Yeah.
care.
Come on,
Right.
Wayne, people are dead.
All right.
No, I want to say during this scene right here, I think Jim Grulich actually shot the cameraman in the leg, if I'm not mistaken.
He did.
Seriously?
Yeah, yeah.
A plastic piece.
A
Ow.
plastic piece, blank, but part
Yeah.
of it still came. Got him in the leg. He was like, son of a...
Yeah.
I mean, nothing to go to the hospital, but there's a big
That
bruise there.
stings.
Yeah, there's a bruise to get hit.
Now in the book, they try to draw the devil dog off during a Memorial Day parade, which
Right.
would have been fabulous.
Would have been fabulous.
If you could only get an entire community to stage a parade for you, and
Yeah.
Or shoot during an existing St. Patrick's Day parade or something like that. Yeah, right. Oh, right there. That hit the cameraman in the leg.
camera dips.
Alex, take a bike! Take it to the woods!
Just don't scratch it.
Ooh.
And that's you driving so recklessly.
All right, here we are. Like I said, we cut the suit in half, so the back half is the devil dog actor is just in a wheelbarrow. And
in Bermuda shorts.
Yeah, literally. And 2 frames after that scene cuts, the wheelbarrow flopped over and he went rolling down the hill. So,
Do you have those on outtakes?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's great. And Alex, of course, has only been here once, remembers exactly where to go.
I'm
Lost,
I'm drawn
actually. Yes.
by.
You're compelled.
Well, there's the river from the beginning, so you
Yep,
must be on the right track.
And that's a great shot. That's kind of Indiana Jonesy.
It is.
Start the plane, Jock.
Yeah. Well, he was there long enough to start a fire.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It took the dog that long to get to him. And that wheelbarrow.
That dog ain't gonna keep up with that. That's a Yamaha or whatever it was.
Well, remember, the dog just went through a big explosion.
Yeah,
so
he's kind of singed.
He's gimped.
There he
see,
is.
he's gimpy.
Says, man, this guy's driving me crazy. And then Alex, of course, falls over. Oh, ouch.
And it's like, I think we need another
shirtless
scene here.
Thank you.
Well,
you got to keep your audience
Oh,
entertained.
here we go. We are going into the
Squeal.
Toho territory here.
Dun, 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 dun. It's like
yeah,
Godzilla.
I know, but the Godzilla's
Well, I found out from this film that something that now they accept as a fact is that there's a huge amount of female fans of the horror genre.
Sure.
But back then they used to really believe that it was a totally male-dominated genre.
No.
Well, that's what I'm saying, because a lot of the
the guys
fan
go to see
mail
the
and stuff.
guns, and we go to see the guns.
Welcome to the gun show.
Yeah. Well, just like action movies. Women love action movies. Come on.
Yeah, and this as the fight progressed between these two monsters, we'd dump another gallon of blood on him.
Yeah, sure.
And then
Make
roll
them
the camera,
slippery.
Just fight. Just try to bite his arm. Cut. More blood. Fight some more.
It's like cosplay Fight Club. Go get him!
But it ends. We got this cool shot here that it ends on.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. This kind of
Ripping the spine.
the Predator moment.
Yep.
Sound design.
Yeah, great sound in there.
Yeah, that is good.
Well, the ripping sound too.
Yep. Very visceral.
And again, another nice wrap-up scene with
Shirtless
Wayne.
DJ. And
I wasn't talking about that.
Oh.
I'm talking about the comedic.
Oh,
elements.
Wayne. Yeah.
I see.
This is our last night of filming, if I'm not mistaken.
What took you so long, Wayne? I had to do the laundry and the dishes. I had to,
Had to
make another
clean
pot of
up.
coffee.
I left that. I couldn't leave those dishes out. My
Yeah.
wife would have killed me because I'm a good husband.
Where the hell were you? Right?
Yeah, our last night of filming right here. I remember that. We had to shoot the monsters. You being in the woods, with the fire. The monster attacking you. The monsters fighting. And this little end scene
wow.
right here. We shot this all in one night. And I remember that we were actually pushing. The sun was starting to come up while we were shooting this.
And
stuff
it
right
was
here.
actually so cold. I remember staying warm by hanging out around the exhaust of the generator.
You put your shirt in my truck. Yeah?
You don't remember that because you were wearing a parka.
Yeah, I was fine. I was sipping cocoa in my car.
Yeah.
Like heat. Yeah. Waiting for you to get back to the set.
How do you
Okay.
know that it's dead? I told you before, I can feel the thing. I've got a connection.
There you go.
I don't feel
I'll accept it.
Okay.
It's dead, Wayne.
Now, why are you putting that bloody shirt back on there, DJ? That doesn't make a lot of sense.
Oh,
was in his
because we
trunk.
had a continuity issue with the final scene of the film, and so we had to come up with an on-the-fly reason to match the two scenes. So, of course,
I can do it.
you know, it's
Because
either
legal-
bloody shirt or no shirt, and the hospital says
You have to
they've got
have
a
a
shirt
shirt.
policy. So,
Right.
No shirt, no service.
no shirt, no service.
I want to see my wife. Hey, what are you doing in here?
Yeah, with the bloody shirt, they'd be like, you should see a doctor. Oh my gosh, I never noticed that before. You actually have a splint made with twigs on your leg?
I don't know.
Yeah, the shot before. You have to go back and look at it again. As you're coming in, like on both sides of your leg, I see like two sticks.
Yeah, he made a splint.
Wow.
It's a MacGyver
So was I
moment.
ever on the set for this movie? I mean, there's so many things. Although it has been.
I don't
A
know.
few years that you're looking that closely.
Yeah.
To do it.
I think you were impressed with the technology aspects.
I'm never gonna leave you. Never.
What bar? He's using the
Turn
same
to the
lines.
script. Did he say all his lines? Oh, good. Okay.
That's good. This one.
On to the next.
Yeah, I mean, being the I did not have an assistant director, you know, so there was a production manager.
You had all
Lisa
the
did a great
hats.
job. I was wearing way too many hats for a first time feature film, you know, and the scale that we were trying to pull off. But you know, we did it, and it's become this cult classic, I think, because we aspired for something so much bigger.
And I'm sure that kiss I wrote in.
Yeah, probably. That what we did accomplish, you know, we did it with heart. You know?
Yeah, because, you know, again, with the arguing, it probably would have been two hands over the mouth and nose.
Yeah, pillow.
Nice to see that you made it, Helen. Oh.
And then she'd say something like, "The divorce papers are in the mail, Alex."
Yep.
Yeah.
Now we jumped from firefighter 8 to 13.
Wow.
Oh, you think a scene was cut out
Uh-oh.
or something like that?
Was it?
Yeah.
And pretty soon my bar extra comes up.
Yeah, police extras. Well, yeah.
I'm on IMDb for actor as bar extra. That's so
You're on
exciting.
really?
Yeah. And I didn't even put
Nancy
it up there.
Gideon, there you go.
Yep, there I am.
And once again, our
My
production
brother,
designer Don Black.
my brother Adam Perry, he actually helped with the special effects. That was nice. You know, he only worked on a handful of films with me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's nice. He's now a special ed teacher.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's another thing. We didn't have much of a budget, and we're trying to do 2 full creature suits with all the gore effects throughout. And I mean, some of the effects are like here's some rubber fingers, put them in a bag, dip them in blood, But then we got some great stuff, some great sculpted creatures, and
Oh yeah, that skull was the best part. That was really nice.
Dan Lays.
Yep.
You know, he
The
and
pyrotechnics
his team
that
did a
did
really nice job with everything.
the explosions, the house fire in the beginning. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a ton of fun making this movie, and
Oh yeah. It was exciting, exhausting.
Yeah, it was the first time I got to see behind the scenes because I was out there when was it the
And for us,
trailer
too.
you were shooting? Was that the trailer? Yeah, at your mom's house, and
Yep.
and we got to sit and talk to the effects guys and the blood makeup. It was really, really cool.
Yeah, we did that opening fire scene twice. Once for the teaser trailer, and then for the fun of film during the film shoot. But all these local Michigan companies that came on board.
Oh, this
to
was
help
great.
out with it. Just great.
Oh yeah, and for being a small independent film, I mean, you still can see how many artists on both sides of the camera it takes to pull this off, and it's a lot of work.
Yeah, how many people that we convinced that
this was a good
that
idea?
This was a good idea, and that we weren't going to do any property damage. Well, we went in, shot as fast as we could, and got out of there.
Oh yeah.
Nicely done, gentlemen.
Well, back out into the world it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, how many feature films have you been leading man in since this first foray?
I don't know. I mean, out of the 50 plus movies I've been in, I've been either major supporting or leads in almost all of them.
And this was the start.
Well, and it was, in a lot of ways, it was a blessing because, you know, I was framed as a leading man. So I didn't have to go through some of the hardships that other actors have to go through. So thank you.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, I want to do a big thank you out to like all the fans, you know, everyone that's supported this movie over the years. You know, they got it out there and it's coming out again, you know, in this Blu-ray release and
Other countries?
Other countries, yeah. So, well, hope you enjoyed our talk, and we'll see you in the woods.